That's right, everyone. John Bradshaw Layfield has been announced that he will, in fact, be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame for 2020. Now, this doesn't come as a big surprise to me. I always figured that John Bradshaw Layfield will indeed be inducted someday, and it's finally going to happen. Now, John Bradshaw Layfield has had a very long career. Before he got into professional wrestling, he was an American football coach for the Trinity Valley Community College. He was also a player for the Abilene Christian University, where he was there for 2 years as an offensive line and was named first team All-Lone Star Conference as a junior and a senior. And then after that, he broke into Global Wrestling Federation in 1992, where he was working with Brad Renegans and started out in the Global Wrestling Federation in Texas. His first gimmick was known as John Hawk, where he was the storyline cousin of the Wyndham brothers. And shortly after that, he worked his way through the international circuit for 2 years before finally coming into the WWF in late 1995, and he made his television debut in January 26 on an episode of WWF Superstars as Justin Hawk Bradshaw. And then after that, he was managed by Uncle Zepekiah, and after remaining undefeated for 3 months, he suffered a disqualification loss to The Undertaker, which was actually his Raw television debut the night after WrestleMania 12. And him and The Undertaker would be tied to each other's careers for the rest of their days in working in the WWF/WWE. Shortly after that, JBL worked under a number of different names. Blackjack Bradshaw, where he was one half of the New Blackjacks with Barry Windham, and then he would later team up with Ron Simmons, aka Farouk, to form what we know as the APA. But when they first started out, they were called Hell's Henchmen, and then later on they would hook up with The Undertaker as the Acolytes in the Ministry of Darkness. And to me, when I first became aware of Bradshaw was during the Attitude Era, as I said, as part of the Ministry of Darkness with The Undertaker. And I thought Bradshaw had a really good look. He was a big guy, about 6'6", maybe 6'7", over 300 pounds, and he had like long black hair, and he had this big thick beard, and he had like these black tattoos painted on his chest, and he had like the Ministry cross on his tights, and he was just an imposing figure. And I remember him and Farouk, when they were the Acolytes with The Undertaker, they didn't win many matches, but when you heard that music, you knew somebody was going to get hurt, and hurt badly. And to me, when I think of the Ministry of Darkness, I think of Undertaker and the Acolytes, because that was the nucleus of the group. And after the Ministry/corporate Ministry folded up, the Acolytes became the APA, and they became a fan favourite tag team. They ended up becoming tag team champions, I think 3 times, I believe. Might have been 3 times. Yeah, it was 3 times the Acolytes/APA held the tag team titles. And then after remaining together for about 3 or 4 years, Farouk left the WWE, and Bradshaw reinvented himself and became what we would know now as John Bradshaw Layfield, JBL for short. Now, when he came out as JBL, I couldn't believe my eyes. I thought, is this the same guy? My God, he came out in the blue suit, the white hat, like something you see out of Dallas, and started talking about his finances and all his money and stuff like that, and all this Wall Street language. It was just ridiculous. But I have to give John Bradshaw Layfield mega props, because at the time on SmackDown in 2004, there was not much in the way of star power. Big Show was injured, Kurt Angle was injured, I think Undertaker was a little bit banged up with his elbow. Eddie Guerrero was the only star we had carrying SmackDown. John Cena was on the rise, but he wasn't quite the big star yet. So really, you just had Eddie Guerrero, and JBL was given an opportunity, and boy did he run with it. And he became the WWE champion at the Great American Bash, and he held it for pretty much most of 2004 and the first half of 2005. And JBL was such an obnoxious, pompous champion, and it worked. I mean, I couldn't stand JBL. So when you hate the heel, they're doing a good job, because I always remember that JBL would constantly cheat and always find cheap ways to win matches. And he had a great feud with Eddie Guerrero. They had a couple of good matches, one at Judgment Day, one at the Great American Bash. They had a cage match on SmackDown, and they had a great rivalry. And probably my favourite rivalry that JBL had was with The Undertaker, because it was one of those situations. I thought it was going to be crap. I didn't think it was going to be that good, but it ended up being one of my favourite feuds. I mean, for me, I think that was Taker's first major feud with Bradshaw, of all people. And they had a really great match at SummerSlam. They had a better match at No Mercy in the Last Ride match, first time ever. And yeah, I mean, Undertaker really put JBL over in a big way, and he should, because they're good friends, and off camera they're very good friends. And yeah, Undertaker really made JBL a great heel champion, and he successfully defended the belt against Booker T. He defended it against Eddie Guerrero, Undertaker, and Booker T in a fatal 4-way. He survived a triple threat match with Big Show and Kurt Angle, survived the Big Show in a barbed wire steel cage match, and he put over John Cena. I mean, nobody really talks about who made John Cena the star. I would say JBL did. He held the title for most of the year, and he put over John Cena in a big way. And I have to give JBL, mega props to doing that. And he even put Batista over as well. He didn't have to do that. I know JBL has been known as a bit of an idiot backstage. I've heard stories, but you can't deny that he put over both Batista and especially John Cena. He put them both over, so big time props to JBL. And then shortly after that, he had one more match. He had a couple more matches in 2006, and then he stepped away from the ring and became a commentator. And he was a really good commentator. I thought he was the best thing I loved about SmackDown, and he was a great foil for Michael Cole. And JBL, what I liked about his commentating was, even though he would root for the faces, he would still diss the heels sometimes. So he would always switch sides. But if you had a legend like, let's say, Undertaker or Booker T, he would sometimes diss them, but he would also show great respect to them. So he always flipped over to different guys all the time, and he was funny as hell. I absolutely loved JBL's commentating. His commentating later on did sour on me a bit, but he was still a lot of fun. And he returned to the ring in 2007, and he had a few more matches with Chris Jericho, a couple matches with Triple H, before he retired for good at WrestleMania 25 against Rey Mysterio. And during Bradshaw's run in the WWE, he was a WWE champion one time, Intercontinental champion one time, United States champion one time, Hardcore champion 18 times, European champion one time, and as I said earlier, 3-time tag team champion with Ron Simmons / Farouk. So yeah, congratulations JBL, well deserved. Now the big question I have to ask is, who's going to induct JBL into the Hall of Fame? In my honest opinion, I think it should be Ron Simmons. The two of them, have got a long history together. Ministry of Darkness, the Acolytes, the APA. You know, they've travelled up and down the roads together, and it just makes perfect sense that Ron Simmons should be the guy to induct JBL into the Hall of Fame. But we'll see, really. Maybe it could be Michael Cole. You never know. But as I said, we'll just have to wait and see. So I'm going to wrap this up now for all of you and leave this here. What's your thoughts on JBL getting into the Hall of Fame? Do you think he deserves it? Who do you think should induct him? You know what to do, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your thoughts and comments down below, and I will see you all next time. And congratulations once again to the true American hero and the one and the only, the Wrestling God.